In the past 24 hours, people have tried to phish my email address, steal my phone number, get access to all of my banking systems, and even access my Twitter account because, as you all know, SocialFi is directly connected to your Twitter account right now in most regards. So because of that, I think it's important to put out a video of how you can prevent something like this from happening. The first thing that you have to understand when getting phished is that in order for a phishing attack to be successful, you have to be willing to give up access to whatever it is that they're trying to get access to. With that being said, let me give you my experience and tell you how you can prevent such an attack. The way that these predators are going to communicate with you is through email, text, or a phone call. Let me start off by giving the example of how somebody tried to access my email account and walk you through how I prevented that attack from occurring. The first thing that this person did while trying to seize my email address was they sent me a text that looked very formal saying, "Hey, somebody is trying to change the phone number on your email account. So if you would like this to stop, reply stop to this text message." Well, I didn't do anything because I immediately thought that it was somebody trying to scam me. So they later, with the same number, tried calling me. And when they called me, I picked up just to see what they had to say, thinking that it was a scam. And they immediately tried to ask me for a code that had been sent to me through a text message saying the only way that they could verify who I was through that code. Well, the thing is, folks, when somebody tries to do that, it's because they're trying to access your account, and the only way that they can get that access is through the authorization code that was sent to your phone. So, for me, I have two-factor authentication set up on my account, and the only way that you can access my account is with that two-factor authenticator. However, there are workarounds to that. If you lose access to that two-factor authentication, you can contact these people who own these domains and say, look, this is my backup phone number or this is my backup email in case I get locked out. So essentially what they were doing was trying to use my phone number to get that authorization code sent to me through a text, and they were going to use that to log in on their computer. I did not let that happen. I immediately hung up on them whenever they asked me to give them that code. And that's exactly the steps that you have to take when dealing with these types of people. Because for the majority of this, customer support is not going to call you. They're not going to text you. They might send you an in-app notification for whatever email that you use, but they're not going to call or text you, especially from some random number that doesn't look official at all. This number was somewhere in Virginia, a 571 number. So, just keep that in mind. And then if you really are worried about whether or not somebody is trying to phish your account, then what you can do is call the customer support of whoever you are using for your email, for your cell phone, for your banking. You can call the customer support and just make sure that everything is okay on their end. And that's exactly what I did after this person tried to steal my email account, because had they been successful, they would have access to a lot of other things. And here's the thing. A few years ago, Ledger had a hack, and everybody's information who had ever purchased a Ledger was stolen. And that information got broadcast onto the black market. And so my info is out there. My email address that I signed up with on Ledger is out there. So today I took a stand and decided that I was no longer going to use that email account for anything going forward, because somehow these people had associated my email address with my phone number, and that should never be the case. So what I've done is I've set up a brand new email account, and I'm going to be attaching that email account to all of these things that I've listed before. My banking, my email, my Twitter account, anything that has an attachment to money in this regard, I want it attached to this new email address and just be a clean slate. On top of that, you need to have two-factor authentication turned on each one of these separate accounts. That way it becomes like a closed loop, right? So you set up one account, your email address, put two-factor authentication on that. That way it becomes a locked system. Then you attach that email to your Twitter account. Set up two-factor authentication on your Twitter account using an authenticator like the Google Authenticator app. Then you attach your Twitter account to one of these social-fi platforms, because that's the only way to set up an account. Set up two-factor authentication on that account if you can. Right now, apps like FriendTech allow you to create a separate password, and that's the only way you can access the account is by knowing that password. The thing is you can't forget that password on an app like FriendTech. But all of this is to say that getting phished is completely avoidable. You just have to know the proper steps to take in order to not get scammed, essentially. And these were the steps that I took to not get scammed. Last year, somebody tried to do this to me with my bank account. And they literally called, and on on my phone, it said it was my bank that was calling me. So they spoofed the number to appear like my bank. And so I almost fell for that one because it looked very official. It literally said USAA was calling me. And so I almost gave them the information that they were asking for to get into my account. But then this is what you have to do. You have to be level-headed. You can't just immediately think that everything is wrong, especially if you've been very careful with your security like I have. Be level-headed. Say, thank you for the information. I'll call you guys back in a second. And hang up the phone. Do not give them any information. And immediately call the true customer support line and speak to somebody and make sure that everything is okay. That is honestly the best advice that I can give you guys. I hope it helps somebody out there from not getting scammed by somebody else around the world. That's going to be it for this one though. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to hit that like button. Crypto Clay, out.